At this time, the coaches and umpires please meet at home plate for the pregame conference at this time. Coaches and umpires please meet at home plate for the pregame conference.
Yeah, I've seen y'all during the game.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Park at StMU University for Game 2. The UT Permian Basin will be taking on the Rattlers of StMU University. Introducing the supporting players for the Falcons, wearing number 2, Captain Mallory Hall. Number 9, Dee Jonah. Number 10, Marisa Steele. Number 18, Raquel Carrasco. And number 22, Holly Harrington. Your starting players for the Falcons. Jenny Wong will be starting in center field with number 12. At second base, number 7, Nikki Becerra. In left field, number 21, Talia Marble. At first base, number 91, Nikki Brailsford. At third base, number 11, Miley McKee. Behind the plate, number 8, Anna Hollingsworth. At shortstop, number 16, Aurora Burks. The designated player for the Falcons, number 4, Taylor Clancy. In right field for 23, Sydney Freeze. And starting on the mound for the Falcons, number 14, Desiree Valero. The head coach of the Falcons is Adeline Burke, assistant coach Adam Burke, and graduate assistant Sarah Sikora. And now the home team of the St. Mary's, the Lady Rattlers. The point players this afternoon, wearing number 2, Hannah Fields. Number 4, Katie Nichols. Number 6, Sydney Paredes. Number 9, Laura Benavides. Number 14, Jennifer Hernandez. Number 21, Leanne Campos. Number 23, Jordan Alvarez. Number 24, Maricela Bisado. Number 27, Gianna Cisneros. And number 50, Diana Gutierrez. And now your starting lineup for your St. Mary's Lady Rattlers. Protecting the third baseline, wearing number 15 this afternoon, Nicole Charlotte. In right field, wearing number 11, Alena Moreno. In left field, wearing number 19, Taylor the Green. And first base, wearing number 30, Haley Richter. Designated player for the Rattlers, number 7, Reagan Patterson. And shortstop, wearing number 1, Miranda Molina. Behind the dish, wearing number 22, Alex Rodriguez. At second base, wearing number 3, Amanda Diaz. In center field, wearing number 5 this afternoon, Danielle Mack. And starting on the mound for Rattlers will be number 10 this afternoon, Emily Britton. And coaches on the field, assistant coaches Haley Long and Kelsey Winsky. At this time we're ready to play ball, so let's get on the field, home team. And good luck to both teams. And our blue crew for today is a good game.
Welcome everybody inside the softball stadium here at the park at St. Mary's University for this Heartland Conference tournament game. This game number 2 of the day. We saw in the first game St. Edward's University defeating Texas A&M International 9-0. St. Edward's, the number 2 seed in the Heartland Conference, advancing to the next round. And in this game, we have the number 1 seeded St. Mary's Rattlers taking on the University of Texas Permian Basin. Pitching for the Rattlers is their ace, Emily Britton.
Top of the first inning, leading off for Permian Basin.
Britton,
Number 12,
another stellar year with a record of 24-6, a 2.09 ERA. And she will take on this UTPB lineup. Leading off for the University of Texas Permian Basin is their center fielder, Jennifer Quam. And with that first pitch from Britton, this game is underway. Brian Maglio on here bringing you this big-time game between these two teams as the second pitch by Quam is fouled away. St. Mary's, the number 15 ranked team in the nation, with a record of 43-12. They were 18-5 in Heartland Conference play this season. On the other side of the ball, UTPB with a record of 13-38 and 10-14 in Heartland Conference play, as the count now moves to 2 balls and 1 strike to Quam. Jennifer Quam, batting .403 on the year, has started all 49 games for the Falcons of UTPB as she swings and misses on that off-speed pitch, bringing the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Britton with the windup and the pitch. That one softly grounded to third. There to make the play is Nicole Sartowich for the first out of the ball game. Let's meet the defensive lineup for the St. Mary's Rattlers. Over at left field, you have Taylor Vadrine. At center, Danielle Nash. Moreno over at right field. Covering third is Nicole Sartowich. Medina and Villa covering the middle of the infield. Richter over at first. And doing the catching for the Rattlers is Alex Rodriguez, as that pitch from Britton just low for ball 1. At the plate is Nikki De Sierra, the second baseman. And that pitch paints the outside corner, bringing the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Britton, and that one low for ball 2. The winner of this game will take on St. Edward's tomorrow right back here at the softball stadium at 11 a.m.
And swing and miss. Here's the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The loser of this game will take on Texas A&M International tomorrow at 2 p.m. The 2-2 pitch from Britton swung on and missed. She struck her out. And that is out number 2. And Emily Britton's first strikeout of the ball game. As mentioned earlier, Britton, a stellar season once again. Struck out 81 batters this season and at it early on here, as her first pitch is in there for strike number 1. And now at the plate is Talius Marble, the left fielder. Oh, breaking ball, just couldn't find the plate, and that brings the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Marble this season batted .226 with 11 RBIs and 2 home runs as she hits that one sharply to short. Medina backhands it and throws across to first in time for the final out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down to begin the ball game. The Rattlers due up next right after this short break. Stay tuned, more upcoming. You're watching the Heartland Conference Tournament right here on the Rattler Network.
With 12 premier institutions across 4 states, the members of the Heartland Conference are proud partners of their communities and NCAA Division II. We are committed to the academic and athletic success of our student-athletes. The Heartland Conference offers a vibrant championship experience with schools that are nationally competitive, engaged with their communities, and supported by hundreds of thousands of fans who promote a positive game environment. To learn more about the Heartland Conference, visit us at heartlandsports.org. Choose Division II. Choose the Heartland Conference.
Welcome back, everyone. Bottom of the first inning about to get started. Leading off for the St. Mary's Rattlers will be Nicole Sardulich. Sardulich, a fantastic season, batted a team high, or second on the team, with a .412 batting average and 34 RBIs along with 3 home runs. The first pitch to Sardulich in there for a called strike 1. And pitching for the Falcons is Desiree Valero. This season she has a 4.28 ERA with a 9-21 win-loss record. This season, Valero has 111 strikeouts to her name and only 32 walked batters, as that pitch falls off the plate, bringing the count to 2-1. It'll be Sardulich, Elena Moreno, and Taylor Vidrine due up this half inning for the Rattlers, as Nicole takes that pitch for ball number 3, bringing the count to 3-1. Off-speed pitch from Valero is fouled back, and that brings the count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nicole Sardulich, a junior from Angleton, Texas. And Sardulich able to draw the leadoff walk as she's able to lay off a pitch just outside of the plate. And that'll bring up Elena Moreno. Moreno, a freshman from Pearland, Texas. Has appeared in 5 games for St. Mary's this season and has started 2 as she hits the first pitch over to short. And the potential double play is not turned as the force out is made at second. And Sardulich is out. And Moreno advances to first. And now at the plate for St. Mary's is Taylor Vidrine. Vidrine this season batting .303 with 27 RBIs as she takes that first pitch from Valero for a called strike one. Let's meet the defensive lineup for the Falcons of UTPB. Over at left field is Marble. Quam is at center as Vidrine lofts that one to right and foul. Freeze is at right field. McKee over at third. Burks at short. De Sierra at second. Brailsford at first. And doing the catching behind the plate is Anna Hollingsworth. Vidrine behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, and that pitch well outside, and the throw over to first not in time as Moreno able to get back to the bag safely. The 1-2 pitch to Vidrine swung on and missed. She struck her out, and that is the second out of the inning.
Coming to first baseman number 30 to the plate, Haley Richter.
And now at the plate for St. Mary's is their first baseman, Haley Richter. Richter started all 55 games for St. Mary's this season. And she swung on that one as Moreno able to slide in safely and steal second base. The hit and run in effect on that play right there. And now the Rattlers have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Richter batted .335 and had a team high 55 RBIs as that ball kept in front by the catcher Hollingsworth, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Richter also second on this Rattler team with 7 home runs as she hits that one hard back up the middle and off the glove of Valero. And Richter able to hustle down the line, and she's safe at first. Burke's throw just unable to find the glove of Brailsford over at first in time. And that'll bring up Reagan Patterson. First pitch inside for a strike. Patterson, a freshman from Mineral Wells, Texas, graduated from Mineral Wells High School and has seen an increase in playing time towards the end of the year as she fouls that one away. Patterson batting .333 on the year, making her 7th start of the season, has appeared in 12 games. And with that, Reagan Patterson puts a 2 spot on the board for the Rattlers with that 2 RBI double. And quickly St. Mary's jumps out to the lead as the freshman, showing nerves of steel in her first Heartland Conference tournament game, scoring Moreno and Richter on that play.
I'm so excited.
And now at the plate, Miranda Medina. That pitch from Valero outside. And that brings the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Medina batting .214 this season as she hits that one down the third baseline foul. Medina with 9 RBIs and 2 home runs. Has done a terrific job in her first year as a St. Mary's Rattler as their everyday shortstop. The 2-1 pitch off speed and runs a bit inside for ball number 3. 3-1 now the count. Patterson over at second, and on deck for St. Mary's is Alex Rodriguez. The 3-1 pitch from Valero hit high but not far in the infield, and it drops right in the batter's box. And it is a foul ball, and that'll bring the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Both the first baseman and the third baseman, Brailsford and McKee, giving chase to it, but it dropped right between the two of them as everybody will reassume their positions. Patterson back on second, Medina getting set at the plate. The 3-2 pitch swung on and ripped foul down the left side. Here's the pitch from Valero, swung on and ripped down the line and left, and once again foul and out of play.
And count holds at 3-2.
It'll be Brailsford, McKee, and Hollingsworth due up in the top of the second inning for the Falcons, as that pitch low and outside for ball number 4, and it'll be a 2-out walk assessed to Miranda Medina. So now runners on first and second for Alex Rodriguez. Alex, a sophomore from Eagle Pass, Texas, has done a terrific job in her first year behind the plate playing catcher as she takes that first pitch from Valero for strike number 1. Alex, batting .300 on the year, has started all 55 games for St. Mary's, to go along with 26 RBIs and a team-high 8 home runs. But right now, behind in the at-bat to Valero. No balls, 2 strikes to Alex. The 0-2 pitch swung on and hit sharply to second. There to make the play is DeSierra, and that will do it for the inning. But not before St. Mary's scores 2 on a double from Reagan Patterson. So St. Mary's leading 2-0 early on here as we head to the top of the second inning. You're watching the Heartland Conference Tournament right here on the Rattler Network.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II. We're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes the 10th initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions. Nearly $1 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple. Because we care.
Welcome back, everybody. Top of the second inning about to get started, and we are now joined by the one and only Joe Rodriguez, who is fresh from class and has joined us here to call this ball game. Joe, glad to have you here with us.
Glad to be here. A lot better than ethics class, I'll admit, but hey, learned a lot today. Final is looking just fine. Brian, we see Emily Britton out there in the circle here today. And you and I were talking about it a little bit during the break. Coach Fields, Coach Meagle, they have different strategies when it comes to these double elimination tournaments. Coach Meagle, he'll usually try to save his ace for the second game in case his team will lose one. That way, in that double elimination game, you're good to go. But Coach Fields, who, by the way, Heartland Conference Coach of the Year, just saying, choosing to put her definite ace, Emily Britton, out there in this first game. Talk to me a little bit about the pros and cons of both approaches.
Coach Meagle, of course, the head baseball coach for the St. Mary's Rattlers, and the approaches are a little different because the pitching motions for both pitchers are different as well, as Britton finds the strike zone right there, bringing the count to 3-1. Emily Britton, anytime you have a pitcher like her, it's always good to lead off with your best ace, knowing that you have a very capable pitcher awaiting in Maricela Bissaro, as Britton works the count full now to Brailsford, 3-2. But the benefits of both, of course, in double elimination games, in baseball you want to have your ace because you only have them for one game. As with softball, essentially they could, as you mentioned during the break, they could pitch all the games if need be. But on this Rattler lineup, you don't necessarily need that.
Yeah, and especially for someone like Emily Britton, if you hop out, you start hot, get that 2-0 lead like the Rattlers did in the bottom of the first, this game might already just be over and we don't even realize it quite yet. 3-2 the count here to Brailsford.
Brailsford, 19 RBIs with a .207 batting average, as that pitch just missing, and Brailsford gets the leadoff walk.
Yeah, you see a smile on Britton's face after that pitch. I think she wanted the strike called there, but now she'll have to adapt to that one being called a ball for the rest of the day. Here comes Miley McKee to the plate.
Emily Britton, an accomplished career as a St. Mary's Rattler, a 3-time Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Year award winner, as that pitch misses for ball one. Britton once again, along with third baseman Nicole Sardulich and Viana Gutierrez, earning first team honors in the Heartland Conference tournament. Taylor Vidrine and Katie Nichols were named to the all-second team as
foul ball hit off of the runner.
And everybody will reassume their positions as the count all even at 1 ball and 1 strike. St. Edwards, who we saw win the first game of this tournament by a score of 9-0 over Texas A&M International in 5 innings, I believe. They received plenty of awards as that bunt popped up and out of play, foul, and that'll be strike number 2. But St. Edwards, they received several awards, including their shortstop, Kendall Lucas, who was named Heartland Conference Player of the Year. She batted .394 with 33 RBIs and 33 runs scored.
And some impressive statistics right there. And really just a good amount of matchups could happen in this Heartland Conference tournament as Medina bobbles that one, but able to get the out at second over there. Fielder's choice will be given, and 1 out as Brailsford is retired on the base paths.
And good job by Medina, able to get the ball to second in time.
Yeah, I think her eyes got a little bit big right there. Hard hit ball, a potential at a double play right there, but able to get the 1 out and cut off the lead runner, and it'll be Anna Hollingsworth now coming to the plate. Another award we need to mention for Britain, the St. Mary's Athlete of the Year award, as that was given at the
awards banquet,
the athletic banquet
last Wednesday. Britain Female Athlete of the Year, Renee Solis, the starting pitcher for the Rattler baseball team, took home Male Athlete of the Year as that breaking ball, that one fooled the batter Hollingsworth, and that quickly brings the count to 0-2.
And some of these pitches that Britain comes out with, they're just straight up not fair, and she'll have a good amount, like 5 to 10 of those pitches per game where it's just not even fair. So you see her about to get back into the circle right here, and a little bit of discussion going on right here
between the third base coach and the home plate umpire.
Oh, and now he's coming over to walk.
And so time is called, but as we were talking about the awards that have been given out, the regular season awards, St. Edwards also has this year's Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Year, breaking Emily Britton's streak of 3 in a row. This year, the Pitcher of the Year is Sarah DeBro. She has a 17-10 record, and she helped the Hilltoppers finish number 2 in the Heartland Conference behind the St. Mary's Rattlers. As that pitch from Britton outside for ball number 1.
And DeBro's 17-10 record as compared to Britton's 24-6 record. But I think Emily, at this point in her career, being a senior, already having 3 of those on the shelf, would much rather have a Heartland Conference title. But if you're Britton, I'm looking for her to be maybe the most effective player in this entire tournament. I know that's not really calling a long shot as that one's grounded to Medina. Flip to Villa for 1, on to first, the double play. But we'll have some more discussion about Emily Britton when we come back and she's back in the circle.
Yep.
I have some questions I want to ask you about her, but heading to the bottom of the second we go. 2-0, the Rattlers lead here on the Rattler Network.
We have so much to celebrate in Division 2. We're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10 initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions. $3 million have been raised. Hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple. Because we care.
Welcome back, everyone. Bottom of the second inning about to get started. Brian Magliwan, Joe Rodriguez here with you. Leading off for the Rattlers this inning is Amanda Villa. It'll be Villa, Nash, and Sardulich due up in this half of the inning. And right before we went to break, we were talking about as Villa hits that one right back to Valero for the first out of the inning. But we were talking about Emily Britton and her Rattler career and the fact that this was the one year she did not win Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Year, and you're going to propose a question before the break.
Well, it's her senior year, so, you know, it's a bit strange that she wouldn't win it that year, as that one called strike one to Nash, a 151 hitter on the year. But I was going to ask you, if you're perhaps in that St. Edward's dugout, or really in the dugout of any team that has to face Emily Britton this year, at this Heartland Conference tournament, are you kind of wishing Emily had won the award? That way she wouldn't have a chip on her shoulder? How hard do you think Emily Britton wants to go and perhaps win this Heartland Conference tournament MVP or something like that? Because you know she's a very dedicated athlete and thinks about stuff like this.
To be frank, I believe it wouldn't matter. Either way, Britton would have something to prove to herself. We've had the privilege of covering this Rattler softball team throughout the whole season, and Britton is a gamer. She's going to compete every time she steps onto the field, and the fact that she didn't win Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Year, yes, I believe she has a chip on her shoulder, but had she won it, she would want to go out there and prove that she is deserving of that honor. 6-time Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Week award winner this season alone.
That's crazy.
And if my math is correct, she has around 16 Heartland Conference Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Week awards, as Nash.
That's just unheard of right there. Full count for Nash, by the way.
Nash fouls that one away. It is just something that, you know, you don't see often, the greatness of a pitcher like Emily Britton, and after this season she will be missed by this St. Mary's team, as that one grounded over to second. There to make the play is D. Sierra, and that is out number 2. And we return to the top of the lineup. At the plate will be Nicole Sardulich, who walked her first time up.
Nicole, that outstanding .412 batting average. The on-base percentage at .491, just what you want out of your leadoff man. So the first pitch by Valero is outside, 1-0.
Sardulich, last year's Heartland Conference Player of the Year. She's already in the Rattler record book with a single season record in doubles last year with 25. This season, Sardulich continuing her success, as you mentioned. She's done a terrific job batting leadoff for the St. Mary's team.
1-1 the count. Here's Valero as that one's taken into center field. Running on to make the play is Quam, and that'll do it for the inning.
And this inning, St. Mary's goes 3 up, 3 down. They lead 2-0 still as we head to the top of the third inning. UTPB looking to get something going here. Stay tuned, more upcoming. You're watching the Heartland Conference Tournament right here on the Rattler Network.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, everybody. Top of the third inning about to get started. Brian Maglione, Joe Rodriguez bringing you the second game of the Heartland Conference Tournament. Earlier today, we saw St. Edward's victorious over Texas A&M International University. The winner of this game will take on St. Edward's tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. right back here at the softball stadium. The first pitch from Britton in there for strike number 1. And at the plate, seeing her first pitches of the game is Aurora Burks.
0-2 now the count. And Brian, something else we talked about during the break is just the amount of experience on this Rattler roster. I mean, if you look around the diamond right now at how many Rattlers there are on this team that have not only won one Heartland Conference, but multiple Heartland Conference. I mean, off the top of my head, the Dreens, Sardalich, Richter, Britton, Rodriguez, all have been part of multiple Heartland Conference.
Great play there by Villa, backhanding it on the slide and throwing it over to first for the first out of the inning.
Wow, what a play there by Villa. But then also Marcelo Bissaro, who's going to be in the circle presumably during the next game. How much does experience help you get through this tournament, especially when you have a whole bunch of girls on your roster who have won it before?
Experience can go a long way, especially in the postseason, as that one fouled off by Taylor Clancy. But what's been even more impressive to me, Joe, is the fact that the freshmen on this team have really stepped up. The 2 runs in this game accounted for by Reagan Patterson, a freshman, and we see on this Rattler roster several freshmen have stepped up, especially in the later part of the year.
Yeah, and we see a lot of first-year players, too, also stepping up, doing their part. Vio, we just saw make a spectacular sliding play. By no means a freshman, but a junior out there. But this Rattler team, they do such a tremendous job of everyone just knowing their role and being able to play it so successfully. And I think that's more of a testament to the great coaching staff than anything else. 1-2 the count.
And great coaching staff indeed, as we mentioned in the last inning. Coach Fields receiving the honor of Heartland Conference Coach of the Year, as that one lofted into foul territory just out of the reach of a diving Medina. And the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck for the Falcons will be Sydney Freeze.
And Clancy, who's at the plate right now, a .236 hitter on the year. She's played in 50 games, started 46 of them, so she's been a regular for this Falcon squad.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from Britton, and that one ripped to left for a base hit. And that is the first hit of the game surrendered by Emily Britton, as Clancy was able to get a hold of one and drop one right in front of Vadrine over at left.
I think Clancy was licking heat there, and Britton gave it to her. She's able to get around on it, and now it'll be up to Sydney Freeze. Freeze hitting .143 on the year. She's played in 21 games so far the year. To give you more of a perspective, the .143 is a 5 for 35 average, as that one's popped up into foul territory, and Sardalich will take care of it for the second out of the inning.
And brings up center fielder, Jenny Qualm.
Now here comes Qualm.
And we head back to the top of the order. Quam, 0 for 1. She grounded to third her first time up, as she takes the first pitch from Britton outside for ball number 1.
I tell you, Sartlich is really playing up on that corner right now. Anything that's going to come to her is going to come to her in a hurry, but we see Sartlich, those great reflexes compiled with that good arm, as that one's grounded Medina, the underhand scoop to second, and that'll do it for the inning. Top of the third. The Falcons managed to get their first hit, but that's about it as they strand one. Rattlers still lead it 2-0 here in the Heartland Conference Tournament.
With 12 premier institutions across 4 states, the members of the Heartland Conference are proud partners of their communities and NCAA Division II. We are committed to the academic and athletic success of our student-athletes. The Heartland Conference offers a vibrant championship experience with schools that are nationally competitive, engaged with their communities, and supported by hundreds of thousands of fans who promote a positive game environment. To learn more about the Heartland Conference, visit us at heartlandsports.org. Choose Division II. Choose the Heartland Conference.
Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the third inning about to get started here. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the St. Mary's Rattlers. Leading off will be Elena Moreno, who grounded into a fielder's choice her last time up. She scored on that double by Reagan Patterson.
Elena, the .333 batting average.
She grounds that one to short, and unable to make the play is Brailsford. Burke's throw just a bit off the mark, and that will be charged as an error, and that'll bring up Taylor Vidrine to the plate.
Yeah, but that's something that a good slap bunter will do to you. I mean, if they're able to get the contact and not hit it too hard, it's one of the keys to good slap bunting, and then they have good speed, well then they're gonna force some mistakes, as we just saw Moreno do right there, as Vidrine beats one out as well.
And quickly, St. Mary's gets their first 2 runners on base. Vidrine over at first, Moreno at second as time is called. And Vidrine, one of the speedier players on this St. Mary's team, able to reach on that bunt.
Not to mention Vidrine, just a straight up thief. No joke whatsoever.
Vidrine, 26 stolen bases on 27 attempts this season.
That's a ridiculous percentage right there. As Richter will now come to the plate, the Rattlers' main RBI hitter.
And
jamming out to a little Eminem right here, feeling it.
Vidrine has 26 of the St. Mary's 69 stolen bases this season, and her speed on full display during that last sequence as play is about to resume as Haley Richter gets set.
Man, I'm telling you, Brian, I'm excited right now for this combination we have. A good hitter at the plate, not to mention a ton of speed on the base pass right now, Moreno and Vidrine. We could see a lot go on right here, but I'm willing to bet Coach Fields will just go on ahead and let her number 3 hitter, Richter, swing away. Number 4 hitter, I should say.
That pitch outside, ball number 2. Richter, 1 for 1 so far. in this ball game. On deck is Reagan Patterson. And this is a big time situation here for the Falcons as that one grounded over to short. And the quick flip over to third from Burks is in time as they get the force out for the first out of this inning. And that'll bring up Reagan Patterson to the plate. Patterson with that 2 RBI double her last time up.
So far the difference in this game.
And she takes that first pitch low and outside for ball number 1.
Yep. Last time Reagan was up, it was at runners at the corners. This time runners at first and second, but still in scoring position, so a good opportunity for her.
And that pitch outside once again. 2 balls, no strikes to the freshman Patterson.
And you mentioned the key word right there, freshman. And she has the poise to go up there at the plate after having that 2 RBI double and watch a couple of balls, now 3 balls. I mean, she's going up there, she's being patient, having that poise in this kind of setting that, I mean, tells you a little bit about Reagan Patterson right there.
And Patterson showing nerves of steel and has the swagger of a veteran as time is called.
Blue-collared gold swagger.
A reference to the Indiana Pacers, who,
oh my goodness,
unfortunately are
down 3-2. Yeah.
Are down 3-2 to the number 8 seeded Atlanta Hawks, as that pitch finally finds the plate. 3-1 now the count from Valero. And while we're on the subject of the NBA playoffs and postseason play, just an impressive postseason so far. A lot of close games, plenty of overtime games, and close finishes.
No joke.
It kind of reminds me of the NCAA tournament where you just don't know what's going to happen on any given night.
Full count to Patterson. That one grounded over short. Vadrine will have to change her path as Richter will be retired at second on the fielder's choice, so it'll be 2 away, runners at the corners for Medina. But yeah, just it feels like we've gotten to that point where any team can win on any night, and it really is true. And I think that the only team that was just head and shoulders above their competition in their first round so far is Miami,
the defending 2-time NBA champions. As the first pitch to Medina is low and inside for ball 1.
But besides that, we've just had a lot of close ball games. Medina, she walked her first time up. Including the local series.
Dallas versus San Antonio. That one,
man, I gotta tell you.
that one a great series, as one of those series that have the potential of going either way. San Antonio currently leading 3-2 as Medina swings and misses at that one, and advancing to second without a throw is Patterson.
2-1 now the count.
And if you look at the situation the Falcons were in earlier on in this inning, if they can escape without allowing a run,
that's huge.
That is huge, especially against a team like St. Mary's where runs are hard to come by. A 2-run lead, more manageable than a 4-run lead at that. And the Falcons trying to keep it at that as Medina pops that one up high into the first base side, and there to make the play is Brailsford. So the threat is averted. St. Mary's unable to score. They leave 2 runners on base. They still lead 2-0, however, as we head to the top of the 4th inning. The Falcons trying to get something going here when we return to the Rattler Network, the home of the Heartland Conference Tournament.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, everybody. The fourth inning about to get started. Leading off this half inning for the Falcons is Nikki DeSierra. Struck out her first time at the plate as she takes that first pitch from Britton for ball number 1. The 2, 3, 4 hitters are due up this inning for the Falcons.
And Brian, you mentioned it briefly, but just really a great job by this Falcons team showing their chops, able to get out of that bottom of the third inning. They let the first 2 base runners on board, but then after that able to work their way around. And really just a credit to Valero and the pitches that she was making in that last half inning.
That one grounded over to short. Medina there to make the play for out number 1.
And Emily Britton, she'll be looking to try to make those same pitches as we get underway here in the top of the 4th.
Britton has so far been superb, as she has been throughout her collegiate career. So far in this ball game, allowing only 1 hit, walking only 1, and striking out 1. But the biggest number of them all has not allowed a run through the first 3 1/3 innings, as the count is 1-0 to Marble. Talius Marble 0 for 1 this afternoon. Ooh, breaking ball buckled the knees of Marble, but she was able to hold up just enough for ball number 2 to be called.
And that's a tough one right there.
And Britton painting the outside corner with that pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike now.
And one thing I want to point out about that pitch that Britton just had right there, as the counts 1 and 2, the location of that off-speed pitch by Britton is also extremely unfair.
Oh, off-speed pitch once again grounded softly to Sardelich over at third, and her throw in time.
And there's the example of it. It's on the outside corner. So if you're going to hit it, you're going to be early on it. And so you're going to pull it very, very softly, and then Sardelich is going to have a very easy play. And if you're not going to pull it very softly, then you're going to hit it the other way very softly, and more likely than not, it's just going to be a simple pop out. So not only, it's just the combination of the pitch and the location. If that pitch was on the inside corner, then we might be looking at something completely different, because it might get pulled and cranked, but just a good combination there by Britton. Want to know the count to Brailsford.
Nikki Brailsford walked her first time at the plate as she takes that pitch for a called strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Brailsford, a senior from Springville, Utah. And that off-speed pitch off the plate, and that'll bring the count to 2-1.
So we see this crowd starting to grow pretty nicely. More and more students trickling in after their classes are up.
And it's nice to see some of the athletes out in attendance. We see several volleyball players and women's basketball players on hand supporting their fellow Rattler athletes.
3-1 the count. As Brailsford looks at a strike at the knees. St. Mary's volleyball team, very big Danielle Nash fans. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, they're huge Nash fans.
Well, who wouldn't be?
I don't blame you, yeah. They had several posters out there. And, Then we see some members of the coaching staff as well. Coach Gary Payne. I think I saw Coach Chan Bottoms as well. That one fouled away by Brailsford. 3-2 now.
And I believe I see Coach Jason Martins, the head coach of the women's basketball team as well.
I think see his family too, a couple of his daughters. So it's always nice.
It's a family affair here at the softball stadium, this being the inaugural season inside the park at St. Mary's University, as that one ripped down the line foul. And the count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And this, the first season inside this new facility, has been terrific, as Brailsford able to draw her second walk of the game. But from your perspective, Joe, how has this first season been inside this new softball stadium, Sigma Beta Chi Field, and of course the crown jewel Dixon Stadium?
I just have to tell you how incredibly happy and pleased I am to be able to have the sports on campus. I mean, my first 2 years while I was here, it was usually going off well, it wasn't usually, it was always going off campus in order to,
with exception to basketball and volleyball.
Yeah, to get to a game. And it was kind of difficult to follow, but I was able to do it pretty well because the wonderful people I have working around me, of course, being able to give me rides and such. But now to have it on campus is just so wonderful. I mean, take such pride in the beautiful facilities we have here. I know the players feel the same way.
Oh!
Shuttle flip!
Wow, Emily Britton improvising on that play, showing great poise as only she can. A backhanded flip over to first to end the inning, and that will do it for the top of the 4th inning. UTPB unable to get anything going. They left 1 runner on, and they still trail the St. Mary's Rattlers 2-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Stay tuned. You're watching the Heartland Conference right here on the Rattler Network.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II. We're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes the 10 initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions. Nearly $1,000 have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple. Because we care.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The bottom of the fourth inning about to get started. Leading off for the Rattlers is the double deuce, Alex Rodriguez. And before the commercial break, we were talking about this brand new facility, or the brand new facilities here at St. Mary's University, and you were making several points. I believe you were in the middle of making one before Emily Britton made that spectacular play to end the inning.
Trick play off the knee, between the legs, shuttle flip, no problem. But yeah, the final point I was going to make is you can tell, based on the home record, how much the stadium means to the team. 23-7 at home, just a tremendous winning percentage out of this Rattler ball club. And now they're able to try to add to that here in the Heartland Conference Tournament. That was all I was going to say on it. But 0-2 the count now. As Alex looks at that outside pitch from Valero. And Brian, your St. Mary's, you're up 2-0 right now, but I mean, now a pretty good time to add to that lead if you're the Rattlers, wouldn't you say?
St. Mary's hasn't scored a run since the bottom of the first inning, and yes, and now would be an opportune time to do so. It'll be Rodriguez, Villa, and Nash due up this inning, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. And Alex able to bring the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and as we have mentioned throughout the course of the year, as she grounds that one to short, Burke's able to make the play, and the throw is in time for out number 1. But as we have mentioned throughout the course of the whole year, we have several batters on the St. Mary's team that have a very methodical approach, Alex being one of them. But how does the new batting cages as well help this Rattler team? I mean, we've seen them knock the ball out of the park plenty of times this season.
And by plenty of times, I think you mean 37 cumulative home runs, while their opponents have hit only 13 off of them. So that's a pretty good number to have right there, as Villa looks at strike number 2. And it was something that I talked with Coach Fields about at the start of the year, just how much the hitting cages have helped. I mean, having a reliable place to take batting practice every single day has just helped the Rattlers tremendously. I think we thought that these Rattlers were good hitters before, but they're even better this year because they're able to put in the dedicated practice. I mean, imagine, for example, if you're a good natural hitter, you have natural talent, but you're only able to practice every 3 days or so. But then you change that up and you're able to practice every day, as that one's grounded towards McKee, and Villa will be retired for the second out. I mean, you're going to see improvements across the board, you'd like to think, as the Rattlers have this year, and it'll be Nash now coming up to the plate.
Nash 0 for 1 so far this afternoon. The first pitch from Valero runs high and inside for ball number 1.
And I always think Danielle Nash is a dangerous hitter when you put her up there. Because if she finds a way to get on base, whether it's a walk, a hit, or what seems to be a usual hit by pitch, then she has a pretty good chance of scoring, because Sarlich is up right after her. And we know that Nash has the wheels to score on any extra base hit that someone like Sarlich is usually able to produce. 2-0 the count. As that one fouled off, 2-1. And we might make fun of Nash a little bit for getting hit by pitches, but that's because she's been hit 11 times on this season. 11 of the 36 hit by pitches have been assessed to Danielle Nash. It was kind of a inside joke, but so much so that our own Tony Morano, as that one's grounded up to the pitcher, it's going to be a foul ball as it hit off of the plate. But our own Tony Morano, he put together a slideshow for the end of the year banquet, and what it consisted of was there was a picture of Danielle getting hit by a pitch, and then another picture of someone getting a base hit or something, and then another picture of Danielle getting hit by another pitch, and I think that drew a pretty good laugh from the crowd as Nash shoots that one over to short. On to first in time as Burks is able to make the play, and that'll be able to do it for the inning. So 1, 2, 3 goes St. Mary's. The fourth is completed as you're watching the Heartland Conference Tournament here on the Rattler Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The fifth inning about to get started. It'll be Hollingsworth, Burks, and Clancy due up this inning for the Falcons. Hollingsworth 0 for 1 so far this afternoon. Emily Britton. A vintage Emily Britton performance this afternoon thus far, as that first pitch, an off-speed one, and that got Hollingsworth chasing 0-1.
Yeah, that's just not fair. You go up there, first pitch, you're usually looking for something you can handle, a fastball if you're going to be swinging, and then you get hit with that right there. Off-speed pitch.
And that pitch goes outside. 1-1 now the count.
The only thing that could be more mean is if you follow it up with another changeup that they're not expecting. 1-1 for Hollingsworth.
And that one popped softly over to first, and there to make the play is Haley Richter for out number 1.
Here comes Aurora Burks now to the plate. Aurora 0 for 1 here today.
And we'd like to take some time out to ask all of you to check us out on social media. Facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at St. Mary's Rattlers. And look out.
Between the legs of the first base coach over there, but all is well.
And be sure to check out all of our live broadcast replays on youtube.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. And for all things about St. Mary's Sports as oh my goodness. Oh, great improvisation by Emily Britton using her foot. Oh my goodness.
Maybe we need to get her on the soccer pitch as well. Are you kidding me, Emily Britton?
Good gravy. And everybody, her teammates are just laughing. This is
back-to-back innings where she's done something like this.
Highlight I'm at a loss for words, and good God.
I think we might need to get the girl in gold in the circle of golden glove. Gracious, 1-0.
Just the instinct to stick her foot out and stop it dead in its tracks and able to make the play.
I mean, the reflexes alone on that are ridiculous.
That one popped up and foul out of play.
So it'll be Clancy in the batting box right now, 1-1. I think you and I are a little bit speechless right now. We need to calm down a little bit.
1-1 the count to the designated player Taylor Clancy. Clancy 1 for 1. Off-speed pitch. Hit over to third. Sardulich there to make the play for the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down this inning. We had another highlight to add to the books by Emily Britton. You can check it out on youtube.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. But right now, all things going St. Mary's way. They lead 2-0 here as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Stay tuned. You're watching the Heartland Conference Tournament right here on the Rattler Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The bottom of the 5th inning about to get underway. We're at the top of the order. The 1, 2, 3 hitters are due up this inning. It'll be Sardulich, Moreno, and Vadrine. At the plate is Nicole Sardulich. Sardulich 0 for 1 with a walk. She takes the first pitch from Valero for a called strike 1. And credit the pitcher, Valero, for settling in after allowing those early 2 runs. She's really settled in and has only allowed 3 hits and 2 bases on balls throughout the course of the game. So she's been able to keep her team within range, within striking distance. 2 runs, not a sizable advantage, as we see in the back part of your screen. Members of the St. Mary's Rattlers baseball team making their way to the outfield, showing support for the softball team as that one softly grounded back to the pitcher, Valero, and Desiree able to make the play for out number 1.
That's going to bring up right fielder, number 11, Elena Moreno.
Then here comes Moreno now to the plate. That's one of the things I like about this park right here. It's nice and cozy. You can sit along that outfield part if you like, or you can come in and enjoy the stands, but no matter what, a very good atmosphere.
First pitch to Moreno, high and inside for ball number 1. And as you can see, the men's baseball team taking their seats in right center field. The 1-0 pitch from Valero is low and outside for ball number 2 as she gets words of encouragement from her first baseman, Brailsford, as you mentioned. The baseball team trying to start the wave.
Opinions on the wave, Brian McGlee on 2-1 now the count.
It's great.
You like it?
A way for the fans to stay involved. However, it can get a little carried away, I will do say. How about you? Your opinions on the wave? You've been to your fair share of sporting events.
I love the wave. I do not see why certain teams are trying to do away with it. I mean, it's ultimately your team trying to show you support. As 2-2 is now the count to Moreno. She's 0 for 2 on the day, but she's reached twice.
And she pops that one high to right, and that one just out of play, and the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the wave. Why not? I think it goes up there just about with anything traditional, I suppose, in sports. The the da-da-da-da-da chart.
Yeah, the little themes.
I put it up there with that. Having an organ at a game sometimes. Yeah, it's just part of the game. It's wonderful. 2-2.
That one grounded over to second. There to make the play is De Sierra, and that is good for out number 2.
After number 19, left fielder Taylor Madreen.
Madreen will now step into the box. 1 for 2 today. 2 away. Here's Valero. Called strike right there, 0-1. Speaking of Valero, St. Mary's a relation. I'm talking about the gas station, of course.
Just across the street from the campus.
Oh, well, even more importantly, Valero founded by, as that one through the legs of McKee. That one was hit hard. We'll see how they score that one for Vadreen. I think they'll give her a base hit, but the founder of Valero, a St. Mary's alum that goes by the name of Bill Greehey. Of course, the namesake of our own stadium on campus where the basketball teams play, along with volleyball, of course. A little tidbit of trivia for a couple of Rattler fans should they not know.
And that first pitch to Haley Richter just outside for ball number 1. And St. Mary's a rich tradition, not just athletically, but educationally as well.
There goes Vadreen.
Vadreen. Oh, she got tagged out. Oh, wait, the ball dropped. The call was initially out, but Vadreen able to keep her foot on the bag as she's recorded yet another stolen base as the head coach for the Falcons will go out onto the field and ask for an explanation.
And that one was very, very close. I mean, watching the replay right there, or just the broadcast, it looked like Vadreen had made it in there safely initially either way, but 2-0 will be the count. Vadreen will stand at second. I don't think any kind of conversation will change that.
And so far the count stands at 2-0. And even though there's 2 outs, you have Haley Richter at the plate. You have Reagan Patterson on deck. And a 2-run game.
Yeah, he's still chirping. All right, pins down. We'll now go to the answers. Richter is back in that box, and that stolen base effectively makes it so that a single will score the speedster Vadrine.
The 2-0 pitch from Valero paints the outside corner, and that's good for strike number 1. 2-1 now the count to Haley Richter. Richter, a junior from Hondo, Texas, looking to add to this Rattler lead as that one popped high to right, and there to make the play is Freeze for the final out of the inning. Although Vadrine was able to get into scoring position, the Rattlers unable to add on any more runs. They still lead 2-0 as we head to the top half of the 6th inning, as you're watching the Heartland Conference Tournament exclusively here on the Rattler Network.
We have so much to celebrate in Division 2. We're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions. Nearly $1 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple. Because we care.
Welcome back, everybody. The top of the 6th inning about to get started. Brian Magliuan, Joe Rodriguez bringing you the 2nd game of this Heartland Conference Tournament on this beautiful Thursday afternoon here in the Alamo City.
Tell you what, it is lovely.
A beautiful day for some softball. Earlier on, we saw St. Edward's University victorious over Texas A&M International by a score of 9-0. The winner of this game will take on the Hilltoppers tomorrow at 11 a.m.
And Emily just pounding away on that outside corner against the slap bunter Sydney Freeze. That's really what you have to do against good slap bunters.
The loser of this game will take on Texas A&M International, the Dust Devils. They will take them on at 5 p.m. tomorrow, and the loser of that game will be eliminated from the tournament. And that pitch low and outside, ball number 3.
So Brian, in this kind of format, as 3-2 the count here with Britton, that one fouled off and count remained at 3-2. Oh, Mr. Morano dropped it. Come on, Tony. Man, he has one ball hit to. Actually, he'll have like 2 or 3 hit to him a year. He's usually pretty good about making the play. 3-2. Here's Britton.
Freeze fouls that one away, and she stays alive in the at-bat.
But do you like the double elimination format right here, or would you prefer something like the 1 and 4 seed play a best of 3 series, 2 and 3 seed they play a best of 3 seed series, and then the winners of that play a best of 3 series against each other? You're more of a fan of this. This format's much quicker.
Yes, indeed. This format much quicker and allows for teams to get adequate rest as well. If you're playing a multiple game series, it could cause teams fatigue would be a factor, especially late in the season, as that pitch just missing, and that'll be a leadoff walk assessed to Freeze. And I believe that it depends on the sport as well. Softball, anything can happen, and you know, these double elimination situations allow for teams to get, you know, to have that chance of playing other teams as well. Oh, and Vadrine able to make the play. Her throw sails high over the head of Villa, but able to cover back is Moreno, as Freeze able to advance to second on the fly ball by Jennifer Quam.
And they're checking to make sure Freeze did indeed tag up. She did.
As for you, Joe, are you a fan of this double elimination format, or are you a guy that would rather see a 3-game series be played between 2 teams?
I'm personally, at the level we're at right now, a fan of the double elim, as trying to steal third is Freeze, and she'll be gunned down by Richter. So a roundabout way to a 1-2-3 inning.
Beautifully done right there.
And that'll do it. Rattlers still leading 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on the Rattler Network.
With 12 premier institutions across 4 states, the members of the Heartland Conference are proud partners of their communities and NCAA Division II. We are committed to the academic and athletic success of our student athletes. The Heartland Conference offers a vibrant championship experience with schools that are nationally competitive, engaged with their communities, and supported by hundreds of thousands of fans who promote a positive game environment. To learn more about the Heartland Conference, visit us at heartlandsports.org. Choose Division II. Choose the Heartland Conference.
Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the 6th inning underway here, as we see Reagan Patterson at the plate. She fouled the first pitch to the left side, and the count now 0-1. The second pitch from Valero outside, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Patterson so far today, 1 for 2, that 2 RBI double.
And that one popped high to the first baseman Brailsford for the first out of the inning. We've had a great turnout this afternoon here at the softball stadium, here at the brand new park at St. Mary's University. Attendance, 303 people in attendance.
Not bad.
An impressive outing from all the people here, as we see a pinch hitter at the plate for Miranda Medina will be Katie Nichols. A pleasant surprise to see Katie at the plate. Nichols.
Very good to see her.
Nichols, a senior, was plagued by injury the last half of the inning, and now she's taking her first swings in several weeks. And she takes that first pitch for called strike one.
And I gotta tell you, it would be a huge boost if we get a healthy Katie Nichols on back in this tournament. She's usually the number 2 hitter for this Rattler team. She had that nasty collision with Vadrine, if you remember, in the outfield that caused the injury. As some kind of discussion going on right now. 0-2 for Nichols right now. Katie stepping back into the box. A .331 hitter on the year was Nichols. 41 games played, 41 starts. Here's the pitch.
And Nichols holds up just enough, able to stay alive in this at bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I tell you, that first at bat that you have, or the first game you play after you come back from an injury, a little bit of nerves, even though it's something you've done so many times. But Katie Nichols coming back the right way. Hey.
Nichols making her presence felt with a 1-out single, her first at bat in 14 games, and rising to the occasion here in the postseason is Katie Nichols.
I gotta tell you, that's great to see right there. Now Alex Rodriguez will come up to the plate with 1 aboard.
And Nichols, not a slouch on the base paths as well. She has 13 stolen bases, which is second to Taylor Vadrine on this Rattler team. So the Rattlers have good speed over at first and a more than capable batter at the plate in Alex Rodriguez.
13 of 15 for Nichols on stolen bags as Alex bunts that one off her own kneecap, so a foul ball, 0-2.
0-2 on my base.
13 of 15, that makes Nichols about an 87% stolen bag percentage. That one's off the plate, 1-2. Amanda Villa waits on deck.
Alex takes that pitch outside, and that evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So we see a couple of arms going out to warm in the Permian Basin bullpen.
And Nichols goes, and that pitch spoiled away, and the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes for the sophomore from Eagle Pass, Texas.
Two. Here's the pitch.
And the pitch from Valero, low and outside. And great job by Rodriguez, able to stay in this at-bat and work the count full now, as time is called. Desiree Valero fast approaching 100 pitches on the afternoon. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one runs inside, and Alex able to foul that one away.
Yeah, good job just spoiling that one. You could tell she was that's all she was trying to do with that one. It caught her off guard and inside, but Alex able to just muscle it over into foul territory.
Let's see if Valero goes back inside or goes back outside, which she has been doing throughout this at bat, as the hit and run ends the inning right there. The ball popped up to Brailsford, and she flips it over to first for the double play to end the inning. We're going to head to the top of the 7th inning. Last chance for the Falcons. They trail 2-0 right here in the Heartland Conference Tournament, as you're watching it right here on the Rattler Network. Welcome back, everybody. The top of the 7th inning about to get started. Brian Magliwan, Joe Rodriguez bringing you today's action, as the first pitch is swung on and hit over to Medina at short for out number 1. That was Marble, and that is the first out of this inning. And now St. Mary's 2 outs away from earning a date with the St. Edwards Hilltoppers tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Yeah. If you're a Permian Basin fan, though, you got the right part of the order up at the plate to do something. Brailsford, the cleanup hitter, up now, and McKee due up next. Unfortunately, you got the wrong pitcher up there in the circle to do something against. Britton working on that one hitter right now.
And that pitch in there for strike number 1.
And Britton doing it efficiently as well. She's only thrown 79 pitches.
The 1-1 pitch from Emily is low and inside, and the count will go to 2-1.
Brailsford yet to have an at-bat so far today. 2 plate appearances. She's walked twice.
Brailsford, one of the more dangerous hitters in this Falcon lineup, as Britton able to paint the outside corner as she does so well, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brailsford batting .207 on the year. As that pitch, oh, you could tell the Rattlers wanted that one.
A cumulative grasp upon the crowd right there. Everyone holding their breath in one way or another. 3-2.
And that one grounded softly to Medina. A little bobble, but she's able to make the play for the second out of the inning. And now it will be up to Miley McKee to try and prolong this game.
McKee 0 for 2 today. Britton, one hitter, one out away.
Oh, breaking ball, but Miley not biting on that one, and the count 1-0. The 1-0 delivery from Britton swung on and hit softly over to Villa, who's charging at it, and her flip over to first is in time for the final out of this ball game. St. Mary's victorious here in their first game of the Heartland Conference Tournament. They earn a date with the St. Edwards Hilltoppers tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. That game you can find right here on the Rattler Network. As for UTPB, they will play against Texas A&M International tomorrow at 2 p.m. Loser will go home. An impressive performance from these St. Mary's Rattlers, the #1 team in the Heartland Conference, the number 15 team in the nation. Joe, your final thoughts?
Well, just Emily Britton and more Emily Britton. She got that 2-0 lead at the start of the game and never relinquished it, and honestly was never really threatened. She was on her game today. She only gave up the one hit. She walked 3, but had the one strikeout to go with it. And she's going to walk away the winning pitcher. Valero, she pitched very well as well, even though she gave up the 2 runs in the bottom of the first. But besides that, Valero was very solid. St. Mary's, though, looking very sharp in this Heartland Conference tournament to start things off.
And as we mentioned, they will be taking on St. Edwards. And looking forward to that game. St. Mary's didn't end the season the way they wanted to. They finished the season with a 3-game set against St. Edwards, and they lost all 3 games in Austin. So the stakes just a bit higher tomorrow morning, and the scenery a bit different, the friendlier confines here at the softball stadium in the Park of St. Mary's. What do you look forward to from both St. Edwards and St. Mary's tomorrow morning?
Well, it's a rivalry game, of course, the Battle of the Saints, so it's really going to be a tone setter for the rest of the tournament. The teams are going to duke it out between each other. As you mentioned before, several Heartland Conference first teamers and second teamers are going to be featured in the game. So really just a wonderful opportunity to see what these squads have and to see how they match up against each other at the time where it matters most, the Heartland Conference Tournament.
Well, it's been a great day full of Heartland Conference Tournament action here today, but we have plenty more where that came from. Tomorrow, as we mentioned, more games coming up. But for more information on the Heartland Conference Tournament, log on to rattlerathletics.com for all the up-to-date information and scheduling. For everybody here at the Rattler Network, Joe Rodriguez, I'm Brian Magliuan saying so long for now, right here on the Rattler Network.